know I'm kind of torn, but I certainly wouldn't call it homeschooling, because what homeschooling implies is that we're following a structured curriculum. We're probably part of a co-op and some groups, and we're doing learning and like a full like benchmark checking and things like that. So that would be like a homeschooling environment. We are emergency teaching, facilitating our students at this point, our children. I'm a substitute, like I said. That's what I do for the past 5 years, and I kind of think of it very similarly with the situation that we're in now, right? The teachers are sending us this week, we got lesson plans, and they looked really familiar to me because when I walk into a substitute situation, that's what I get. Like, here's your plans, here's what they're working on, here's their books for reference. So you kind of just jump in and you facilitate them. They certainly didn't expect me to come in and teach a brand new concept without any direction whatsoever. And I really appreciate what the teachers have done thus far. And moving forward, when we do start getting a little bit of new concepts they do have to get through, I'm assuming they'll be sending us, the teachers' editions, which we got this week, all of their assignments, we got answer sheets. So it's really like substitute teaching from your home. It really is. My best advice is find what works for you and for your kids. For a working mom, what if you have a meeting at 9 o'clock every day? You have to call your office or whatever. So I would give the children, the kids, something, a writing assignment or a Moby Max or something that they could do while you're on a call, and then come back to them, later when they need some one-on-one and some attention to whatever they're doing and things like that. So you really have to just kind of know how your day looks, and then how can you help them best? And when you're available, fill those holes with maybe, I hate to use the word teaching, but teaching time for the lessons that they need to have, things like that.
Well, and one thing too, I wanted to add to that is I feel having the conversation with the child, with your kids, they're over dinner, explaining to them that how different this is for everyone and how we all need to work together and help each other out. And so that when they do have maybe a meltdown or a stressful moment, that everyone can circle back around to what can we do to help each other as a family.
What works for my kids is the teachers have been sending, and I think most people that are going to see this are probably getting several assignments from the teacher, like 3 ELA, English Language Arts, and 3 math. And so I let them decide. I say, okay, so from this time to this time, we're doing what your teacher sent us. So what would you like to do first? You want to do your ELA, you want to do your math, and then I let them sort of guide that part.
What do they base your decisions on?
I do. I think that that's important that they know, because I think that, again, they like to know what's coming next. So if we set our plan every day and we set our expectations. So like right now in my house on school days, whatever days we're doing school, they're expected to be at the table at 9 a.m. So they have from 8 or 7, whenever they get up, to have breakfast, get dressed. And I've set the expectation that we all meet here at our table at 9 o'clock. What I did was I looked at the plans that the teachers were sending, and I was thinking, okay, it's going to take them between 45 minutes and an hour, maybe longer, maybe less. So I set an hour and a half of time in the morning and an hour and a half of time in the afternoon to do curriculum. At a given time, no, because if they finish it, great in that time, but it's not helpful if they have been sitting here for an hour and a half and they're not done. And I don't want people to panic when they see the lessons either from the teachers. There's nothing that they're giving us that should take an hour and a half, or that they shouldn't be able to complete in a timely manner at this point. And if they don't get it done, that's why we have Thursday. That's our makeup day. Next week I kind of looked up some museums that we can do online, and I mentioned that to them at dinner, and they're like, oh yeah, let's go on a museum tour next week. So maybe Thursday, and that's something they can look forward to, right? So they get their work done Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and they've accomplished everything. Then on Thursday, we don't have to spend any time making it filling any gaps. We can just go take the virtual museum tours.
That's a great idea.
They do have tools, and all of them, even the little ones, can create pictures, and they can have their, computers or Moby Max, or they're all very familiar with, activities on that if they have electronics. If they don't have electronics, flashcards would be a big go-to for me. Spelling, writing the spelling words down.
And I broke out the thesaurus.
Yes.
And I said, okay, pick a number. I'm sorry, a letter between A to Z. You picked D, of course, for Damien.
Of course.
And then I looked up D, and I said, pick a number from 55 to 95, which were the pages related to the letter D. He picked a page number, and I had him pick a word from that page and write down the word and all of the synonyms that go along with it. And we actually both learned quite a few new
words.
Yes, new descriptive words.
Yeah. And this would go to any working parent. Give yourself some grace. If you're in a meeting and you need an hour or two of them just, being busy, let them play some video game. Make that their free time. If they're not, some kids are really good at sitting at the table. And like you said, here's a thesaurus, give me some new words, but give yourself some grace. And if it doesn't work and you don't want them to do school, let them, go in the backyard. Let them, the weather's awfully nice right now. So if they need to be anywhere and be quiet, put them outside, or let them play video games, or sit, play quietly in their room for a little while, or Legos. Mm-hmm. Legos are always, they're manipulatives. They're good for math. They're putting things together. They're so
right.
I got to make sure that they're staying on their sleep. That's a huge, if they're tired, hungry, or like just sometimes, you're just not feeling it. Right. And you have to take that time to be like, okay, this isn't working. And that's when a lot of times I'm like, okay, let's shift here. Let's go for a bike ride. Let's walk around the block, get some fresh air. Or there's times when I'm like, okay, Claire, you go keep yourself busy in your room for a little. Sometimes we just need a break.
Take this time to, while I'm in a meeting, take this time to have extra iPad time, or
make that their recess. They keep saying, when is recess? And I said, okay, well, if we get through this, and they know, like, okay, at 11, what do I say? At 12 o'clock, or 11:30, 12 o'clock, we're going to get out of here we're going to move away from the table and go take a recess, and then we're going to eat lunch. And I don't want people to feel like just because, some people are doing it this way, it just works in our family that way. But honestly, if they're getting an hour and a half in the morning of the lessons, and maybe an hour and a half in the evening, or all in the evening, whatever it is, that's probably sufficient. So yeah, you kind of just dig in a little bit. And if they are struggling, like I was very lucky, Claire happens, they keep a math book at home because they're so big, they carry back and forth. So I had a math book already home, and she had brought home her workbook. So that's been helpful. So if I don't understand something, I just go back and find it in her book, and it worked out. Daniel's a little different. But his book is online too, and all of their books are online. So I have him show me where you're at, get me to your book, and then I'll go back and read it. So it's just digging into the material. Online is great. Like if you're converting, whole number fractions or something, like I'll say, okay, just plug it in, and you can usually pop up, some guidance. So online, always Google everything. And then the teachers, everyone keeps forgetting about the teachers, and all of them are there, and they're waiting for us from 8 o'clock. And I don't want people to forget that either. They're all there from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock waiting for emails and text messages. And if they need to FaceTime your kid and walk them through a lesson, they will. Like that, they're waiting.
That's crucial. Oh, wow.
And I think people are overlooking that piece of it too. And it's super important for them to know the help is there. Like, sometimes moms being teachers, and I find this even when I'm substituting in her class, I'm still her mom. And sometimes a teacher telling her the same thing in a different way is helpful. For math, we've been doing a little bit of extra stuff at the Khan Academy.
Okay.
Online, you can reach them. Education.com, there you can even, talk about lessons and worksheets and answers, and it gives them immediate feedback. abcmouse.com, maybe for the younger ones.
Okay.
That's always a good resource. You know how, I don't know, in school they do timed drills. So they do math facts and they do them as fast as they possibly can. But I didn't have any blank ones. And I'm like, hey, where can I get some blank ones? So she sent me a link. It's called math-drills.com.
With more tips like this, I'm going to have other video series coming for different things. So thanks for being my guinea pig.